Hey up! Cliche at day and guitar at day. Well, I thought it's a blue guitar, so I'll play. You got it. So what we got here? Well, this is a year 2000 PRS Custom 24 Artist Pack. I bought this in 2006 and it's by no means all original. By the time I got it, there'd been certain modifications done to it by the original owner. The pickups had been swapped out for a set of Bare Knuckle Stormy Mondays, and the switching had been changed to be the McCarty style, so it's got a push-pull tone pot for coil tapping and a 3-way pickup selector. It would have probably originally come with a 5-way selector, as was on the Custom 22 I demonstrated earlier on. It had also had some really tacky aftermarket brass volume and tone knobs put on it, which had a fake topaz stone in the top, and were just ugh. So I went and got a pair of generic black speed knobs to put on it to make it look a little bit more like it would have done originally. They're not the same as the PRS knobs. They're a different shape, you know, but what the hell, they look a damn sight better than the tacky aftermarkets that were on it when I first got it. Other things that have happened to this guitar over the years, well, the tuning pegs here, the actual buttons on them, they were originally black plastic, and after I'd had the guitar a year, one of them just broke while I was tuning. It must have had a knock at some time in the past. It just split down the middle. So I went on StewMac and I bought a set of ebony small size buttons for it. What I didn't realise was that the tuner buttons are actually an integral part of these tuning machines. They take a lot of the mechanical tension, a lot of the mechanical force exerted by the tuning machine in response to the tension of the strings is counteracted by the friction of the tuning peg against the tuner body. And those small tuner buttons were not quite big enough, and as a result they did not exert enough mechanical friction, and every string would go in tune apart from the G, and that would continually slip off tune in standard pitch with a set of 10s on. And that only started happening after they'd been on for a few months. So obviously they had originally been, you know, a few tenths of millimeters of material there that wore off, and then eventually there just wasn't enough there to give it the friction it needed. So I went and got a set of the large ebony buttons from StewMac, and that's what's on here at the moment. That's what's been on there for about 5 years now. So it's got the I don't have a set of wild animals behind me. That is in fact my children. What can I say? They're 10. Right, so it's got the original PRS locking tuners on here, and I hate them. Why they ever thought these were a good idea, I don't know. They are appalling to restring, especially this top E. If you can see, if I come in close to the camera, you can see that top E tuner is way out of position. All the rest are where they should be. You know, if you string one of these upright, you should end up with those winged collars pointing to approximately where all the other 5 strings are. But that one is just far too far around. And the reason is that it just slips. When you're trying to put a new string in there, the string will not bite. It will not lock on it until you've been turning and turning and turning, and eventually it locks and it's too far around. I suspect it's just down to wear and tear on the cam, but hell's teeth, the guitar's only 16 years old. So what else can we say about this? Well, it's got a what they call the artist pack top on it. Unfortunately, the lighting in this room is not good enough that you can actually see the flame. And well, I bought this guitar partly in the hope that it would fade down to that gorgeous faded denim look you see in a lot of the blue PRS, but this one is resolutely refusing to fade, so it's staying at the whale blue that it came with. What else can I say about it? Well, it's got the Brazilian rosewood facing on the peg head here, Indian rosewood fretboard. It's got the birds, but the birds are multiple coloured abalone. So it's, you can see there the different shades of blue, pink, and green in there. That's different shades of abalone shell or mother of pearl or whatever they used. And of course the PRS signature on the headstock is made of the same stuff. This is the most expensive guitar I've ever bought, and it probably will remain the most expensive guitar I will ever buy. It cost me a whopping $1,800 US at the time, and it came with the original hardshell case that someone had unfortunately put a Christian sticker on that I cannot remove without ripping up the leather of the hardshell case. That's the artist pack that came with a leather covered hardshell case. So the only time I've taken this guitar out of the house in its hardshell case, I've had evangelical godbotherers bouncing up to me, assuming I'm one of their number, and I'm not. I'll just leave it there. I must find another sticker to put over that. Anyhow, what tones do we have? Well, there's the good old reliable A minor chord on the neck pickup. And you can hear there, they're a lot lower output than the pickups on the GIM that I was demoing yesterday. Here's middle and bridge. And here's the bridge. Now these Stormy Monday pickups from Bare Knuckle, they are supposedly wound to impersonate the paths, the patent applied for humbuckers on Dwayne Allman's guitar, as heard on the track Stormy Monday from their live album, Live at the Fillmore, I think it was. Okay, back onto the neck pickup, this time with the coils tapped. Neck and middle, also tapped. I said that, I call it tapped, it's almost certainly coil split. And there's the bridge pickup. Go back with the crunch tone, because on the intro, when I was massacring that old Gary Moore intro, I was using the full gain lead of the IRT Studio. So on the crunch tone, what do we got? So there's neck pickup, coil split not engaged, both pickups. And the bridge pickup. And coil split. Neck pickup, both pickups. And bridge pickup. So it's a very usable coil split sound, and these are very nice sounding humbuckers. They're not exceptionally high gain, they're not intended to be, and this is one of my best sounding humbucker guitars. An awful half-remembered rendition of a bit of an Allman Brothers song.
Cue Top Gear.
So there we have it. Paul Reed Smith Custom 24 Artist Pack.